Have you ever wondered why when you go to make a FaceTime audio call, your phone makes a FaceTime video call instead? Or other times your phone rings through with a Facebook Messenger video call only for the caller to hang up and redial with audio? Why is it that we can never seem to press the right button, video or audio? Well, actually, it's not your fat fingers, it's the fact that the user interface design around this area hasn't been optimized. There are two main areas we can look at. The first is with regards to overlapping tappable areas, and the second is the variation in these button placements between apps. Let's discuss the first, overlapping tappable areas. Every platform has a user interface manual. This guides designers and developers when they're making applications so that there's a certain design principle which is continued throughout the platform. In the area of buttons, the platform will specify how many points wide the tappable area under a button has to be. This is so that there's always enough space between buttons and that you don't accidentally select the wrong button. In the case of Apple iOS, it's 44 points. Now, the button itself doesn't need to be 44 points, but the actual tappable area needs to be at least that wide. In the case of FaceTime, the issue is there are actually two overlapping tappable areas. Let me explain. The bar which displays the word FaceTime has at the end of it a video icon and an audio icon. If you press the video icon, no problem at all. If you press the round FaceTime audio button with the same accuracy as you press other buttons, meaning your finger falls partly on the button and partly into the tappable area, it would actually activate the tappable area for that row. And activating the entire row makes a FaceTime video call. And this is why, in particular, when activating a FaceTime audio call, sometimes video calls are accidentally activated. The second issue is that there is variation of the placement of the video and the audio buttons within apps and between apps. So for instance, within Apple Contacts or within the Apple Phone application, at the top of the application sits 4 buttons, and the one on the left is for voice, for regular phone call, and the one to the right is for FaceTime video. Immediately below that is a row which has the word FaceTime, and at the end of the row is first the FaceTime video button and then the FaceTime audio button. In this case, video on the left, audio on the right. At the top of the app, it's audio on the left, video on the right. It's reversed within the same application. I did a quick scan of the other iOS apps to see if there's any trends. Regular iOS Contacts, FaceTime, WhatsApp, Skype, and Google Duo put the video icon on the left and audio on the right. Facebook Messenger reverses this. The same pattern applies on the Mac desktop apps. I was trying to figure out perhaps why Facebook is the odd man out in this case. I don't know if they're perhaps mirroring their design interface more on the Android platform. It does seem on some Android versions that the video button is placed on the right and the audio button placed on the left. Either way, I think a simple workaround is to ensure that there are 1, not overlapping tappable areas, and 2, the buttons can be placed further apart. There's obviously ample room on each of these rows to have more space between the buttons.